Good evening, it's evening time. My name's Peter Chatfield and I've come along to do this for you, to allay some of your fears about Islam. I'm at the moment, if you're wondering why I'm laying like this, it's because I'm in a hospital bed and I'm facing death, certain death, quicker than, say, most of you out there, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. I'd like to speak to people in general about Islam and what it is and what it is not. Because I know that today we are looked at like we are some kind of poison. The news that is reaching the average person out there is derogatory nonsense that doesn't portray or even come near Islam and what it is and what it is not. 15 years ago, I picked up a book called the Quran, and I opened it and I started to read it. What I realized was that the Quran was a way of life. And I opened this book, the Quran, and what I noticed that was different about the Quran is that it was a system for life. It actually works. As I read through, and I read the surahs, the meanings, and I got my head out of the red top syndrome, you know, the papers that you buy in this country. What I realised was Islam was a very beautiful religion, or system for life. And I prefer to call it a system for life. When I picked up the Quran, I noticed in there that it was very straightforward reading. It was very light on the head, and as I adjusted to it, yes, I became Muslim. So I make no mistake about that. I sit here talking to you tonight as a Muslim, and 15 years ago that gift was given to me. But I also realise a lot of people out there are waking up, and they're realising that Islam, coming through the right mouths, through the good people, is a wonderful religion, full of honour, dignity. One thing that I got from when I became Muslim was my honour, my dignity, my way of life changed. I started to look after myself, very practical things. And that is how it reads, the Quran, a very practical book. There's no mystery about it. There's no burning bushes, there's nothing like that. We also believe in Jesus. A lot of you people out there don't know that we believe in Jesus as well. Time's getting on, as I said. You've been driven away from the truth. All of us have been driven away from the truth. By governments that look responsible, by people who think they know better, through false prophets coming up in front of us. Alcohol is killing many people every year. It's the great poison. It's killing so many people. It's over 1 million people a year are killed by alcohol and alcohol-related diseases. Islam offers another way. Islam offers another way. A way that we should have a good look at. And if you are fair in your judgment and you want a life that is complete, then come to Islam and have a look for yourself and see what's really going on. Find yourself a Quran. The Quran will tell you how to live. That's the difference. It will give you an idea how to live in peace and harmony and dignity. It does actually give a recipe for that in the Quran. The other books don't do that in such a formal way as the Quran. I'm soon to leave this earth, and I would like to leave behind something better. I hope you've enjoyed what I've said. Assalamu alaikum.
Her brother Matt was a student at the University of North Dakota, In March, a house fire ended his life. Matt was 21.
He was very tender. From a little boy, he was always he had a huge heart.
Good to see you.
Same to see you, Doc.
And Tom, he now lives with that same heart.
You look awesome.
I'm telling you, I feel awesome.
When you get your license, you check that box, and you think it's just a small thing.
At 16, Matt signed up to be an organ donor.
There was no alternative for me except a transplant.
Because of Tom's age and other health concerns, 5 different hospitals refused to consider him for a heart transplant. But the Mayo Clinic gave Tom a lifeline, putting him on a waiting list for a new heart.
I am tickled that I am